with that, let's go back up to the NFL as we do our Week 3 preview here. Crazy, next week we'll be previewing already a month in here of the NFL as the Giants and 49ers play tonight, which the 49 that game could get ugly. No Saquon. 49ers are playing like the best team in the NFL, and I don't know what the spread is, but it's probably not high enough.
I think
So
it's
at
least 10.5.
It might be. I don't. Let's see here. NFL. It's at 10 right now.
10, okay.
Definitely take 49ers. And that game is in San Francisco. Oh, yeah. The Giants.
And the Giants stayed on the West Coast, so they've been living in hotels since Sunday, when they played Arizona.
Yep. And it's going to be disgusting. It's going to be a blowout. And, it's probably a good thing it's on streaming, so not everybody's going to be able to watch it. So game is not my NFL.
Once again, dude, the NFL gives us a Thursday night game that's going to be an absolute train wreck.
Yep.
Last week started that way, and I'm pretty sure this week's going to be that way.
Yep. And, we talked about week 3 of college football kind of being a lackluster slate. This is also this week in the NFL, it's a little bit of a lackluster slate of games here.
Yeah.
But as I looked, I made I have one that I didn't think was going to be, thought it was going to be a meh game. But I'm going to go with the Bills versus the Commanders. Bills are 1-1. They looked like they found their stride against the Raiders at home. And the Commanders, 2-0. Sam Howell is playing tremendous. They've got great weapons. The O-line is okay. Eric Bieniemy is looking like a great hire. Might be in the running for coordinator of the year right now. And then defenses. Oh, man, do they have pass rushers that can just get after it. You're seeing Chase Young getting after it. A lot of who didn't get hit, who's actually in a contract year because they didn't renew his
5th-year option.
They didn't pick up his 5th-year option, and I think that's going to be like the big question mark going into this game is how does the Bills' offensive line hold up against the Commanders' pass rush? Because they're going to get after it. I think the Commanders, they're going to just try to have a good balance and try to get ahead early and let that pass rush feast because we know the Bills aren't going to be running the ball. It's going to be a drop back pass game. And if the Bills aren't able to protect Josh Allen, it's going to be a long day for Buffalo.
Well, and what's interesting in this game is this, Dylan, is the familiarity that Eric Bieniemy has with this Buffalo defense and how Buffalo really, in Sean McDermott, doesn't know how to prepare for him for calling a game. Because these last so many years, it's been Andy calling the plays in Kansas City, but Eric was in all these meetings. He knows what Buffalo does well and what they don't do well. So even though this is a game where they only play once every 4 years, in terms of matchup standpoint and X's and O's, Washington might have a slight advantage just because Bieniemy's faced Buffalo so much these last 4 years.
Yeah, that's going to be the chess match to pay attention to.
Interesting nugget. And Buffalo's O-line struggled week 1 against the Jets. Well, the Commanders might not be as good as the Jets, or they might be a little better. They might be deeper. When you throw in Payne, Montez Sweat, and Jonathan Allen with Chase Young, watch out, folks.
Yep, and you're seeing that trend across the NFL where you're seeing teams invest more in the D-line, which we've been saying on this podcast, and actually since Grant and I have known each other that we've kind of fed off each other's football philosophies that you're going to win it with a pass rush. You can have a bad secondary, but if you can get home and put pressure on that quarterback, you're going to be in a lot of games.
Quarterback can't throw the ball. If he has nowhere to go within 3 seconds, he's in trouble. But if he gets 3 seconds or more of protection, he'll eat you up all day. But yeah, I guess my game of the week here for week 3, Dylan, it's interesting here because there could be a potential winning/losing streak on the line. And that's Patriots-Jets. 14 straight games. 14 straight times the Patriots have defeated the Jets. I heard something this morning on NFL Network on Good Morning Football, the last time the Patriots lost to the Jets, Barack Obama was in the White House. Just let that sink in.
And
You know,
that was also about around the last time the Chiefs or the Broncos beat the Chiefs.
Broncos beat the Chiefs. Yep. So the last time the Chiefs had the longest winning streak against one team in the NFL at 15, and the Patriots are just behind it with the Jets at 14. Because if you remember the Ryan Fitzpatrick, Brandon Marshall connection in overtime, or was it to Eric Decker? I believe was the last time that the Jets beat the Patriots. But I'm going with this game just for this aspect. Both teams need a win. Both teams still have a really hard schedule coming their way. You look at the Patriots' first two games, they've been flat in the first quarter where their opponents get big leads, but they just kind of find a way to scratch and claw and stay in it. And another thing I want to see is Mac Jones. He's looked comfortable in the 2-minute drill in all these Patriots games. I wonder if they try to go a little fast this whole week in this aspect. Don't let the Jets keep those defensive linemen fresh. Keep them on the field and try to wear them out, because if the Jets lose this game, you got the Chiefs coming up soon, and then the Eagles. This defense and this team might start to lose confidence in Zach Wilson. It could just blow up. And if you're the Patriots and you're 0-3, that's some uncomfortable waters. I mean, if you're 0-3 in the NFL, we're not talking about you this year, because no 0-3 team came back to make the playoffs. So both teams need this in a much different aspect, in a different way. But you can't be 1-2 and you can't be 0-3, and then to potentially lose to a team 15 times in a row, they're just living in your head rent free. And if you're the Jets, you got to fix that.
Yeah. And the other part too is you mentioned them coming off flat. The Patriots, this is the first time they've started 0-2 since a second-year quarterback out of Michigan took over, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. Now, I don't think this team is good enough, similar or remotely close to what the 0-1 Patriots were.
Mm-hmm.
But Bill Belichick's still on that sideline. There is reasons for optimism with the Patriots. The way I think Mac Jones has played a little better than last year. It helps having not a gym teacher as your offensive coordinator, having a real offensive coordinator in Bill O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need better play from their offensive line, but the Patriots, they're going to be in every game. They're going to find a way to make it to 9-8, and they're going to be a tough out, I think, going forward. And if they win this game, there'll be talk that the Patriots are going to be back. If not, well, then Bill Belichick might be on the hot seat, which is crazy to think that you never thought you'd say.
Well, I think, and just like how Bill O'Brien got fired in Houston, this is how the Bill Belichick reign is supreme is going to slowly die in New England. It's not Bill Belichick, the head coach. It's Bill Belichick, the GM. Like these last 3 years since the 2020 season, where has he added help on the offensive side of the ball in terms of skilled players on the outside? When Buffalo adds Stephon Diggs, Dawson Knox, and Dalton Kincaid with Gabe Davis, the Jets get Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. They add Dalvin Cook this year, Allen Lazard, Uzama, the tight end from Tennessee, and then the Dolphins to finish off the division. Mostert, Waddle, Tyreek Hill. They've all added speed and quality players on the outside. What have the Patriots done? What, Kendrick Bourne and Juju Smith-Schuster? It's unacceptable.
Zeke Elliott?
Zeke Elliott, an old washed-up Zeke Elliott?
Gets him about a year too late, which was one of the Belichick specialties, was getting rid of guys before they
ran over the edge.
Before
they fell off.
They really hit that decline. Now it's kind of going backwards here, but yeah, it'll be an interesting game, and I'm gonna find out what happens on Sunday.